Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
I'm a sweet boy.
I'll let a girl suck any part of me. I mean, honestly.
It's just in my mouth, just.
Oh, like, I'll try anything once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except getting to work on time.
You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Oh, let's get the feet involved.
It's not a nut. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud with you.
Some people
Yeah.
are absolutely
Uh-huh.
disgusted by me.
He ain't lying.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 274. I am B.
Chick.
I'm Ryan,
We're back.
and we're back.
Back, baby.
It sounded slightly somber at the beginning of that introduction. It was almost like we have bad news. Like, hey, everybody. Welcome
I am
to
a
the
little
Adult Babies
tired.
Podcast. And then you kind of like, and then
I
you
brought it
found
up.
it. You jumped
I brought it up.
Yeah.
I am a little tired.
Yeah?
But
You had a
yeah.
long day
You had a
yesterday.
long weekend.
Long weekend. Yeah, I'll
You
get
were off
into
today,
it.
though.
What?
You were off from work on
I
Monday.
was off today, yeah.
You needed that.
so-
I needed that off day.
Yeah. But sometimes it's funny, like you would think like you would catch up on, like somebody would say, oh, well, you're off today, so why are you tired? Sometimes a day off can make you more tired.
It did.
Yeah.
You know,
if you're just like laying around.
well, I went to my parents' house and I did a little.
Oh, that'll do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did a little Christmas shopping with my mom.
Oh,
my
cute.
mom was going out and I happened to be there, and she was like, "You want to take a ride with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have nothing to do." So I
That's
went out with my mom.
Where'd you go?
We went to Pottery Barn. Never been to Pottery Barn, by the way. Things are very expensive at Pottery Barn.
Where's the one by you?
We went to the Walt Whitman Mall.
Oh,
Well.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you guys
that's
would
right,
go to
there's a-
Walt
yeah.
Whitman Mall.
We would go. Where else would we go?
I just feel like that's the bougie mall.
Well,
It's
they
also the
closed the
closest-
Sunrise Mall. It's the closest mall to it.
Sunrise stinks, too, though.
Well, it's not there
That's what I'm
anymore.
saying. I get it. But Sunrise stunk.
So what mall?
Deer Park Outlets?
Deer
Yeah,
Park. I
Outlets?
feel like that's a little further away.
Yeah, I think you're best at the Wall. Mall.
Yeah. So we
No, yeah, it's probably the most
Yeah.
we
logical choice.
got these They're not candles, but they're very cool. They're like flameless candles. Have you seen these
I
things?
just ordered 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they expensive for you?
No, not too expensive, but they actually have like a wick that like flickers.
Yeah.
And is that the same one? Is
Yeah.
yours?
It like if it was over there, you'd
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
oh, it kind of looks
Yeah,
like a candle, a real
I
candle.
mean, I've had them before, but it's just a light in it, and it doesn't
Yes.
actually like move, so it just like looks like a
It's got
piece
like a
of
little.
So what does it just have, like a cartridge that little, like, puts the smell out?
There's
No,
no
there's no
smell.
smell.
It's just the ambiance of a
That sounds
candle.
like, I'm sorry, it just sounds like such a pointless can. I like a light.
I understand.
I like burning something.
Yeah, I always have a candle burning, but I also sometimes you want in the background just the appearance of.
And you don't want to burn your shelves. I get it.
You know, my parents got a few for like one room, and it's like they're nice. They look like a burning candle looks good. You know what I mean?
When I bought them, everything I buy now, by the way, for this apartment aesthetically is how can I make it work where can I put it so that it shows up on the podcast?
Yeah.
So I'm buying these candles. I'm like, where can I put these flameless
We're going to have a whole
candles?
shit ton of candles behind us
Yeah.
soon.
I almost brought something here. Maybe I will bring it. My job has stuffed animals.
I
now.
told you guys to bring something that
Well,
you,
the poster I had of us that I was going to bring, I gave
That's
to my
a terrible
nephew.
poster.
It's good. It's going to be in my
It's
nephew's
not
room.
even centered. There's like
Yeah,
white.
no, it's perfect.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll show it to you. You won't like it. It's really not perfect.
and then I just bought another piece of art the other day, and I was like, oh, where can I put that behind? Who can I put that behind?
Yeah.
You know?
I
Oh,
want
what
the
what
art.
kind of piece of art? Is there a new piece of art in the bathroom?
On the wall? That's just a picture that I took.
Oh, you took
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I thought you might have taken
Yeah.
that, but you
I-
put it on like canvas.
Canvas, yeah.
I like it.
I would never typically hang a picture of mine, but there was a big empty wall, and I have a bunch of canvases that I printed. I was in a gallery once, and I have a bunch of, and the gallery closed. So I'm stuck with a bunch of my own photos.
Why wouldn't you want, like, I would think this would be cool as shit if this was like a photo that you did on this size.
If I took
canvas.
that photo, but none of the photos that I take and have printed, I particularly would like on a
Okay,
wall.
fair enough.
That's a nice one though.
Yeah, I don't.
It
I don't
looks
obviously, I like it. I put it on the wall. I do like the photo. I'm more into like a darker, subtle
I got
thing
you.
rather than like a colorful landscape.
So
looking
the
thing.
photo in there is of a guy fishing.
Yeah.
Now you take that pic. It seems like you were spying on this guy, and like
it,
you're in
yeah.
the brush and took a picture of it. But
And
here's
now
my,
he's in your bathroom.
and now he's in the bathroom. But here's my question: do you go up to that guy and be like, "Hey, I took this picture
I
of
didn't
you"?
that day, but then I was back in that area, and this was years ago. And then I was back there with Cheryl years later, and she was like, "Oh, I know that guy," and I'm like, I think that's the guy I took the picture of. So I like looked at my phone, and she goes, "Yeah, my father used to be friends with that guy." So we started talking. I'm like, "Oh, I have a picture of his," and then I sent him the photo after that of him, but he was like,
You think
he didn't care.
Maybe
He's
didn't
into
care.
fishing. He's not into photos of himself
okay?
fishing.
I guess so.
Yeah, he good.
I guess so, but like I feel like maybe not him specifically, but
Yeah,
some people would be like, "This is amazing." Like
yeah. Like I would like a picture of
I
myself.
would
of
love
somebody.
that. If-
And there's another photo in my bathroom of a guy. It's a black and white photo on the corner, and it's a guy just walking up. It's in Brooklyn by like the Brooklyn Bridge Park.
yes, I've seen that.
And
one.
I just
I've been
snuck
in the
that. I don't know who
bathroom.
that guy is. I just took that picture of him. And then I'm like, I like this photo. But, so I don't know who that guy is either.
Is
But
that,
I actually just retook that photo because I was in the area again last week when I went on a date in Brooklyn, and I was walking past. I'm like, I was with Monique, and I'm like, you know what? Stand in this area. I'm like, I'm gonna retake this photo. I'm gonna print it with somebody actually knowing the photo.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm gonna reprint that photo. Yeah.
is that more of an ethics thing, or is that legally? Are you allowed
It's ethics.
to?
Yeah, you're allowed. If you can shoot,
You're allowed
anybody-
to. It's just ethically
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
like their permission.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I
Right.
think it's just would be nice if somebody took a photo of me like that.
Yeah.
If I happen to be fishing or I happen to be walking and it was a cool picture, I would love it to be like, hey, listen, I took this picture. I don't know how great it'll come out, but like
Yeah.
maybe I'll send you a copy if you want it.
Yeah.
Give me your email.
There's street photo guys who do that. Like
No,
they
I
go
know.
around and
I-
ask strangers to take their photos, and
I would
give
love
them-
to do that. I'm scared. Like I would love to.
I
spend
would
a day
ask
doing
people
that.
for you.
You would be like, yeah.
Yeah, I got no problem asking people.
I've seen people. Oh, you like let's do a
Imagine
photo
if this
shoot.
guy walked up, we're taking photos of you, and then it's.
but he looks harmless.
I know,
So then
but
I
you
should be the one.
don't.
So I should be the one asking then.
Yeah,
You
that's
got the harmless looking one has to be the one asking.
looks like a crazy person. Like my buddy's taking photos of you over there.
I always said if I was with a woman, I would be like, I would have a woman do that part.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh yeah, you want to do a photo shoot? And then like they would help me do the photo shoot.
If we ever hit the city and you have your car, I will be asking people, like, let us take your picture. Attractive
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
Take a picture.
Yeah.
And Ryan will be like, oh shit.
Yeah,
So they got flameless candles. You didn't get any. There was just
I
for
didn't get
them.
anything.
This was at the Pottery Barn. They had those.
That Pottery Barn, expensive though.
How much
Like,
are they?
I don't like when stores are misnamed like that. Like, it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the
what,
Christmas
they
tree
should be-
store, the Pottery Barn.
I didn't see one piece of pottery in the entire store.
Yeah,
Is there really no pottery in there? Like, I never really been in there.
I think they maybe started.
And there was no barn. Okay, it wasn't in a barn.
It's like the
Did it
it's
start-
barn themed, like the exterior is like
Oh,
barn themed.
baloney. Okay, I want a real barn. I was in Vermont all weekend. I saw real pottery barns. Like this in Walt Whitman is
Now
not
you're an
a barn
elitist.
full of pottery.
They're pottery elitist.
So
now
what
all of
else
a
do
sudden.
they sell there? Is it like a craft
Dude,
store?
Furniture. It's like
They sell a lot of cool stuff. And listen, I'm a sucker for all that stuff. I'm smelling candles. I'm like touching blankets. Softest blankets I've ever felt. Right. I'm like, I have fantasies when I walk into that place. Like I
Yeah.
could just live here. I could turn this into. But then I go back to my shithole apartment. And it
yeah.
is what
You
it is.
shop. I'm a shopper. I like shopping.
I like to shop, but I also don't have the money to
Yeah, I
like buy what I want to buy.
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah,
I
I'm
go to
a
Target.
straight window shopper.
I do shop. I do shop, and I'm like I shouldn't. So I'm kind of trying to
Yeah,
stop.
I have to stay out of stores because if I go into stores, I spend money I don't have.
Yeah. We also went
agree.
into. By the way, those flameless candles there, the ones we were looking at. I mean, small, like $60.
No, I got
That's
my
absurd.
Yeah, I got a pack of 3. It was like $35. Yeah,
Maybe they were a little less quality. but-
It's yet to be seen. I haven't received mine. Yet.
They looked amazing. Yeah, you probably can get them cheaper, but whatever.
We'll see. I bought mine. Mine were advertised to me on Instagram, and I swore off buying anything on Instagram because I've been burnt so many times.
Oh, it's the worst.
But I just bought 2 things off of Instagram, so we'll see.
So it's the flameless candles and something else.
Yeah,
What else?
it's a gift that's
Okay,
for somebody
we'll
who
say.
might be listening.
I can't imagine what that is. And then we went to that soap store, Lush. You know Lush,
Yeah.
and I've never really been in there.
Soap store, huh? I want to go to this store.
And yeah, it's cool. I've gotten some gifts from Lush, and it's like nice soap and all that
I've
stuff.
never gotten a gift from Lush.
But yeah, nobody's giving
No
me
one's
soap.
giving, but you would think if I looked there, I
you
should
look
get
like
soap. I
Yeah,
should
that
get
would be the
soap.
You look like somebody that needs soap.
Like I feel like I'm the perfect person to get
Yeah.
a Lush gift for.
Well, a hint.
But it's like they have like these. I saw these big bricks of soap that I guess they cut them up and had all different like scents and different fun stuff in them.
How big are these bricks? Like,
Dude, they look like loaves of-
do you rub them on you, or do you rub on them? Like, do you just put it in the shower?
They look they look
against
like
it.
loaves of bread, but they're big. They're big.
And you're
brick.
supposed to use that?
You don't. You buy a slice. Like you're at it. Like there's a machine to
Do they weigh it out? It's like, I
There-
want an ounce of soap.
There's a weigh machine up top. Yeah, there's a machine that weighs it up there.
6 ounces soap, sliced thin, please.
They had a bunch. Some were pre-cut, but I'm like, oh, this is clearly like cut off this.
I would like such a thin thing that every bar is per shower.
Yeah,
You know what I
One
mean?
little
Just- it
sheet
goes-
of-
yeah,
little
just
sheet
a
of soap.
sheet of soap.
Here's the other thing. My mom. So we're waiting online. My mom had like one of these coughing attacks where when you just and I've been there. You know when you like you have to call. You have something like stuck, and then she was on. She was up. And they're asking for her phone number, and she like can't get it out, and the lady couldn't she just couldn't get the phone number.
Yeah.
So at one point I'm like, 1515, and she's like, and my mom's dying of coughing, and like to the point where when you cough but you try to hold it,
Yeah.
but then it makes it
It
worse.
doesn't work. You can't just stop your body from
can't.
coughing.
You
Yeah.
can't.
So it was 10 minutes of my mom. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what's happening. So sorry.
Makes it so much worse.
And this
Just go
lady's
stand over there for a minute.
And this lady's like, phone number, and I'm screaming. And then there's a lady behind us. They start spreading out because why? You can't cough in public.
Post-COVID, you
no.
can't. You
Can't
cannot
do it.
cough.
But
like
also,
that.
this woman doesn't seem very sensitive. She's like, phone number.
I
Like, give
know.
me a
You see
minute. Like,
there's
I'm
something
going.
going on.
That's why I was screaming at her, and it was like
What were you screaming? 1515. What was
I was
that?
screaming because she was my
Were
mom.
you translating?
My mom clearly said the phone number, and then she's like 24, and like she was getting two numbers at a time.
Yeah.
24 and blah, 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 blah. And then she'd say the next two numbers. So finally, I'm like, Jesus Christ, here's the numbers.
Couldn't you just give her the number?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking this whole time. Why didn't you just step in?
mom was in between coughs. She was very clear at saying the number.
Okay.
So
this
it was
woman
like
just wasn't picking it up.
241-977, and the lady just wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
So the
I wish I
coughs
was
were
there.
not. So yeah, it was a good time with my mom.
You never have a dull moment.
Oh God, there's never a dull moment. By the way, we'll get into it. We'll make it brief, but I was in a car accident.
Yeah, I want to get into your weekend and how it ended.
We'll have the other passenger on there. So I went to. I am a little tired because I was in the Vermont Comedy Festival all weekend. Great festival. I would love for you to submit next year. It's fun. I'm telling all my comedy friends to do it. I don't know.
It's just a fun hang, probably.
You just scoffed at me, but like, it's,
Well, I got to get a tape together. You got to submit a tape.
yeah, we'll get you a tape. It is.
Submit a tape, can submit a tape from 7 years ago. I'd be like, hey. this-
Yeah,
I lost a few pounds.
It was a good hang. It was awesome. We had like an Airbnb style house, so we were within walking distance to the main comedy club.
They don't pay for that. You got to pay. You pay for that.
Yeah, you have to pay for that.
Is that wooden? What is it? What's the main?
The Woolen Mill.
The Woolen Mill.
Woolen Mill. So
Woolen Mill.
it's in Bridgewater, Vermont. So you're in like right. We're about 25 minutes, half hour away from Killington Mountain.
Wow.
So it's just a really cool town. Woodstock, Vermont.
Yeah.
Take some great photos there.
Yeah, I bet.
It's a lot of cool like shops and breakfast.
Maybe me and Ryan go, even if he doesn't do it, just to hang.
You should. You would love it. It was a great hang.
Yeah.
A couple of Long Island
shoot
comics.
stuff, content, make content.
Yeah, exactly.
People would love. You could probably shoot sets and like
Sell
sell
my
sets.
services while I'm up
You
there.
could.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we were within walking distance, and then it was basically a show every night. We had Colin Quinn there.
Did you watch Colin's set?
I did. Yeah, he was on we were on the one show at the Woolen Mill. Here's something. I had an interaction with Colin. So in the green room, he walked into the green room, and I was like right here, and he stepped on my foot, and immediately I was like, I'm so sorry.
That's what I thought. That's my favorite part of the story.
And then he apologized. He's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then
I'm sorry, my foot was in your path.
I'm like,
What
I'm
a
such
cuck.
an idiot. But yeah,
beta.
Colin was great.
I'm sorry, my foot was underneath your
I know,
foot where you
so
stuck.
dumb.
No,
I can't believe you
what people do.
apologized.
Here's
People
the best,
apologize.
the best green room thing though. Do you know Jeffrey Gurian?
Yeah,
know that
not
guy?
personally, but I know.
You know of
I
him.
know the legend of Jeffrey Gurian.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'll show.
Do you have a photo? Did he take a photo with you?
I have a photo of him. Yeah.
Can you
but not
guys
this
explain
weekend.
the legend of Jeff Gore, or is it?
I'll just show you. I'll show you a picture of him to like so the story makes sense.
Why do I feel like I know who he is?
He's been around. A lot.
He's written a couple books about
Yeah.
comedy. He's a comedian. Did he perform?
You did.
How was he?
He's a nice
He
guy.
performed, and he.
So he is he will take a photo with anybody who's ever been on stage at any point in their life. he like his apartment is wall to wall photos of
comics?
him with somebody with anybody.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, you
no
could
names.
you could just Google him and you could see all of it. So
Comedy Matters is his website.
yes,
All right,
Yeah.
I gotta check this.
which
out.
I did. So he was there to like through Comedy Matters to so like I did a red carpet interview with him. I was probably terrible. I wish I was better with it, but anyway,
I'm honestly jealous that you have a photo of Jeffrey Gurian. I would love that.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Nick Kroll's show?
Yes.
And they did the Too Much Tuna.
that's right.
That's Too Much Tuna. He was in Too Much
He
Tuna.
was.
Okay.
He
Because
was in it.
he like they love Jeffrey John Mulaney and Nick Kroll.
Is
love
he
him.
just like a
He's
like
a character. He's just a
character?
character. He's a
Yeah.
New
And
York
And he's like
character.
a little guy.
He used to be a
Like,
dentist, like, and he just gave up being a dentist, or maybe he was, I don't know. He's just do comedy. He's great.
so he's like this little guy with the hair and like the glasses and the outfits. So this is a visual story. But anyway, so we're behind the green room has like this sort of it's almost like I don't know how to describe it. It's like a black curtain, but it's sort of see through, like sheer. Is that the word?
Yeah,
Sheer.
that would
Like
be it, yeah.
it was like a big blouse. You know, like you could see.
should have stuck with sheer.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah.
All right. So to get in, you could sort of see outside, and the club is small. So at one point, I'm inside the green room with another couple of comics, and Jeff is outside. This is when the night Colin Kuhn was there, and and Jeff Gurian got stuck inside like the netting.
He's the perfect guy to have gotten stuck.
And the three of us are not helping at all. We're just laughing at Jeff Gurian just move around.
By the way, like, also could have been a bit. Like, he's
I
the
know.
type that might have just done that as a bit. Like,
And we're like, but he had a flashlight with him too because he was gonna light Colin or something. And so he's got a flashlight and he's struggling to get out of it.
Yeah.
And the three of us are just watching him, laughing at this guy caught in the net. And then he walked in and just looked at us and walked past us. It was just so funny and like the visual. So if you're listening, look up that guy and that story would just make sense. So yeah, it was an overall fantastic festival. We did. It's just great, you know. Good shows. The last night we were on the closing show. It was a 7:00 show on Sunday last night, and we saw a storm was coming in, and we're like right in the middle of the mountain. So we made the decision to get out early. I was driving with Lauren Festa, great comedian friend.
you guys
So
went up together?
what?
You went?
Yeah, we got a place together. We went up together. So we kind of.
I'm like legitimately a fan of hers. Every time I've
hysterical.
only seen her at open
So
mics,
funny.
and she kills at open mics, which is almost impossible to
Dude,
do.
she's
always so funny.
she's
Yeah.
one of my favorite comics.
I've only seen her a few times, but she's always did well.
She
Yeah.
crushed up
We got to
there.
get her on.
We're gonna get
the
her on,
show.
and that's why like we'll get her on to talk about this story too. So on the
She-
way home,
She lives somewhat local.
she lives in Belmore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's local.
all right.
Yeah,
Local-ish.
Chick saw her last night. So
Save the day.
So we got out there early. We got out early, and we were bringing another comic back who lives in Manhattan, and we were bringing another. We had like you know how festivals bring industry in.
Yeah.
So a booker of a bunch of comedy clubs that wanted to ride too. I'm like, all right, we'll take her home too. She lives in Manhattan. So it was just a long day. We get up, do breakfast, and now we got a 5-hour ride home. We're gonna drop them off in Manhattan. We're finally getting home. Like, we're supposed to be home by 6 o'clock. We're on the home stretch on the Long Island Expressway. We're headed back home. Exit 37. We get hit from behind.
Ooh.
I'm driving, hit from behind like this. Car spins out. We did two spin outs.
360s, like full turnarounds?
360s, man. We're talking dunk
on the
contest.
expressway.
On the expressway.
In the
that's
rain.
scary.
It was raining
This
last
is her
night.
car?
It's her car. I'm
Yeah.
driving.
That's even worse.
At one point, I have this image of me holding the steering wheel and just like facing the wrong way and cars coming at me.
Yeah.
And somehow
No control.
no control.
Just waiting to see what's going to happen.
Waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
It's all out of your control.
out of
Like,
your
what am I
control.
going to hit? Who's going to hit me?
Yep.
How am I going to flip?
it was wild
That's-
and so scary. Like,
Yeah.
I was shaking till probably 9 o'clock this morning. And then the last turn we get, right by exit 37, you'll see there's like an overpass. So you literally see like streets underneath you.
Yeah.
And we're like, and the car lands perfectly at the right on the what is that? The little outside.
Like the medium? The
Where you're supposed to be. I can't think.
lane? What you're
No,
supposed to be in the lane.
he's talking about the shoulder.
On the shoulder.
shoulder.
On the
Yeah,
shoulder.
on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We land
I
perfectly.
didn't know what you were trying to say at first.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, the
Sorry.
shoulder?
So we land perfectly on the shoulder facing the right way. Almost like we pulled over that way.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And then there's
Did you say, like a glove?
like a glove. Yeah, I didn't say that. We both looked at each other. Dude, it was honestly one of the scariest things I've ever been
I
to.
believe it.
And thank God both of us are okay. Little whiplash, both of our backs, necks kind of hurt. I think she went to the doctor today.
Told us she should have.
She did.
Got to sue the shit out of whoever.
Did they
His whole
stop? Did they stop? Who like? Did you know
Oh,
who
it
hit
stopped.
you? They stopped.
We shut down the Long Island Expressway. There was this.
He's talking about the other car.
Yeah. There was nowhere. These cars we were scattered along the expressway.
So there were other cars.
Yeah, we hit this car hit us, and we spun, and this other car hit another. So there was two cars on the other side of the expressway. We didn't even.
The car that hit him and that car that hit him also hit another car.
So you only got hit the once. And then
We hit
spun
once
and then stopped.
Thank God, very lucky, didn't get hit
but
again.
The other cars were still on the expressway.
The other car-
so
yeah.
you weren't shutting down the expressway. The other two lanes.
No,
that got-
they
Yes.
did. They did. They shut down 2 lanes on the other side. And then obviously the cops, by the time, now we got 1 lane open and took like a half hour for the cops to come. And you hear them, you're just sitting there in the distance, and we realized the car you couldn't drive. It was like, didn't get hit bad, but the like underneath was pulled out. So it was like,
Probably twisted their axle. Is what
Yeah,
it seemed like.
You got hit hard then.
Yeah.
oh yeah, big time.
You definitely got hit relatively. You got to be going 50, 60 when they hit you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but like they have to be going
Fast. No, that's
a
all.
lot
Oh, yeah.
faster to hit you going 50 to.
And he probably caught, like he said, the side, and that's why they spun.
Yeah.
My theory.
Any explanation as to what this person
Yeah.
was
So here's my theory.
speeding?
It was a younger kid in like a new Mercedes.
And it was raining last night.
It was raining.
So if anybody's wondering, it was slippery and raining.
My theory is, and I see it all the time, I'm on the road a lot, is these cars
Yeah.
zipping in and out. I think it was one of those situations where this guy kind of came in and was just looking and then hit us. That's what I think. What the cops say on the report was the Mercedes came in and he swerved out of the way and hit us. And then we
Out of the way of what?
So like he was in the right lane, they're saying, and
He
he
swerved
and
out of
hit
the
you.
way of another car, a mysterious car that is
He was
not.
going way too fast and clipped you.
So we got clipped, went this way, and I think he went that way and hit like a pickup truck in the HOV lane.
And they were all okay too, or you said anybody?
No, I think the one guy his head was bleeding. They took him out in an ambulance.
I'm glad he didn't get seriously hurt, but he deserved a little something.
Well, yeah. So
A little inconvenience.
A little inconvenient.
so it was terrifying, but also like at the end of the night, I went home. I was like I'm so grateful that nothing happened because I'm sitting there on the side of the road and I'm watching these tractor trailers just. I'm like, we were veering into that with no control.
Yeah.
If a tractor trailer or a big truck is coming that way, this is a different story.
Yeah.
It might not be a podcast. Like it was.
Oh,
it
we
was,
still have a podcast.
Not tonight though. You take a week off, right?
yeah.
Well, today to me is like we had an issue last night. Maybe we still do record. I mean, we can't record Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
That's right. The Knicks. So yeah, everybody's okay, thank God. And I gotta say, as much
Sucks,
as
and she's got to go deal with the car
I know,
situation.
I know.
Yeah, it's so much easier for him. He's just gonna have to fork over some money, maybe.
yeah, I know it's awful.
I'm not
It's-
saying
it's-
it was an accident.
Why would you have
It's-
to fork over money?
I don't know. But
I'm just saying because he was driving. God forbid.
Yeah, but she was in the car. She knows he had nothing to do with it. Like the
That's
insurance
true.
should
That's
cover
also
that.
true.
If she was driving, she was just as likely to get hit if she was driving.
Oh
than if
yeah,
he was driving.
that's also true.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm here for whatever she needs, but it was just very scary, and thank God, two of Long Island's favorites are still here.
Yeah,
But
two of my favorites.
But at the end of the when it all happened, when we're trying to figure it out, because now the cops are getting stories from 3 different people, and we were worried that somebody else in one of the other cars is like, are they gonna like pull some shit where they blame us? And we're like, when it's like, all right, we know we were the first car, we clearly got hit.
And your back is the only thing that got destroyed, luckily. So
Yeah.
it was pretty obvious that you were hit.
It
from behind.
was.
Yeah. But all it takes is, and it's sounds so conspiratorial, but
Oh, yeah.
like
We
all
just-
it takes is like that kid who hit you is somebody's son, and
Oh, I
then
was
the
just gonna
cops
say,
is
cops like, oh,
yeah.
all right, we'll
Yeah.
take care of this.
That's why your mind starts going.
Cops are great people, generally speaking.
That's why your
Back on
mind
that.
your mind starts going with like all right, what if like maybe they saw it different? Because we honestly don't.
yeah, you're right.
I heard a beep in the background, and next thing I know, I'm spinning.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I know we were driving in the middle lane, and we were fine.
The safest lane to be in, they say.
Oh well,
Is that right?
Well,
That
I was
makes
always
sense.
told, because they say, in theory, if something does happen in front of you, you have 2 outs as opposed to only
Sure.
one side.
that
And
makes
there's like
sense.
less activity, people getting on and off. On
Yeah,
the
there's
right,
nobody
on the
getting
right
on
lane,
and
people
off,
getting on and off,
and there's
the
nobody
left one
cruising
is,
in the left.
is usually the fastest.
Yeah.
people, so
Yeah. Well,
that makes sense.
but after like we talked to the cops, they have everybody's information. Took a long, takes a while.
That's right. You're out in the rain talking
I'm
about
just
it.
stuck. It was just awful. It's just awful. It's, 6-hour
After-
drive,
yeah.
and everything went
And
great.
then the home stretch. I mean, they're like 20 minutes from home.
Well, yeah,
if
but
that.
better that than
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I
a
said,
half hour
too.
outside of Vermont.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But it is that moment where you're like, all right, we're home free. We're home free, man.
Yeah.
Boom. Because we got out of there because of the snowstorm in the mountains. and all
Yeah,
that shit.
isn't that ironic?
But now we're starting thinking, well, like, we're going to get the car can't drive. We tried to, and they were like, yeah, underneath is all messed up. So the tow truck's coming, and basically they're like, well, you can get it in the tow truck, and they'll drop you off at the mechanics, and you can get an Uber from there.
Yeah.
Like, we got luggage and
Yeah.
crap here. So what I did is I went to my guardian angel,
Yeah.
my number one guy,
Right hand man.
chick.
Was I the first call?
First call before my parents.
On the heels of last week, you saying how you do anything for your friend and you're selfish and how you love to help your friends.
Oh, true. And it worked out
Hey,
perfect.
here we are.
I swear to God, Ryan, on the way there, I was talking to Lauren, and we were taking up another comic, MTG, Michael Thomas Geary,
MTG.
and we were talking about, somehow we were talking about the podcast and Chick, and I was like, listen, the guy drives me nuts. But in the drop, if something happened in the drop of a hat, he's the first guy I call, and he's right there.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, Ryan, there wasn't even a question. He goes, give me your location right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that.
Didn't know how to do it. I said, just send me your location.
I said exit 37. He said drop me a pin, you idiot.
Yeah.
And then I did it.
Yeah.
And within 35 minutes, he was right there.
I have no doubt.
and he tells me, park behind the cop. I said, No.
He doesn't do that.
I don't go near the cops. I pulled up about 15 feet in front of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pulls up in front of the tow truck.
I don't need them smelling nothing, asking any questions.
You're right.
Just fucking let me go.
So then, so without hesitation, we're taking Lauren's bags and my bags, and we throw it in Chick's car. And I mean, he is
Look at him buttering it up.
he's our savior.
Yeah, he certainly
Save the
is.
day.
He
If
saves
the
the day. He
tables are
dropped us
turned,
both off.
you drop everything and pick him up.
Depends on what he's doing.
It depends.
Yeah, is it Sunday?
Am I doing an open mic or the Jets on?
I was watching a game that I honestly, normally Giants, nobody's playing. I don't care. But I was like, oh my God, I really want to watch this game. Had fantasy implications. And, I got out of bed. And
The Giants had a bye this week, right?
yeah, it was just
So
another
who-
game for my fantasy. That
Wait,
was,
yeah, okay.
it was the San Francisco
No,
Green Bay
Eagles.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, San Francisco,
Wait, yeah.
No, that
Green
game.
Bay, who did
Sandy Fanny.
Who the hell beat
then-
San Francisco?
Eagles.
Eagles. San Francisco Eagle game. That
yeah.
was it. Wow. Retarded. But
Yeah. So no, he didn't even hesitate. He did say, I hate you, right? So I'm like, and that's all.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So then
told him, I said-
you drop Lauren off first,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
so
Complete
it's-
gentleman.
That's a lot to
It was
ask. It's not just
it
like
is-
pick me up and drive me home.
oh yeah, no, exactly.
It is a lot to ask.
Yeah.
It's two people, and
He must have been out for a good hour and a half.
yeah, I left at 6 o'clock. I didn't
6
get home
o'clock.
until 7:38.
The accident happened at probably around 6
Wow.
o'clock last night.
Well, if ever you're east of Deer Park Avenue,
I know, yeah.
That-
I would. You would have been
direct
on my
that-
list
direct
as
that to
well.
me,
Because
yeah.
if we were on the other side, I'm going to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I
like
probably
helping
would have gotten
people,
home
so-
more safe with you because he's
You got home. What more do you need?
No, no.
More
He gets here
safe.
every
How can you
week.
get home more safe than you got home with
No,
no
you-
problem?
You know what it is? He doesn't necessarily love my driving, but you know what? I get him to and from places in
No,
one
I'm a
piece.
good driver. I'm a
I
nice,
told him-
cautious driver.
I told him on the way when he drives, there's at least 3 sorries he has to do because he swerves. He's like at minimum I'm getting 3. Sorry, didn't see that.
At least he says sorry.
He does sometimes. Well, he usually blames them first, and then he says sorry to me.
Fair enough.
Oh,
It's never
God.
my fault.
That's so
But
good.
yeah, overall, great weekend. Terrible
happy.
ending, but
Happy to
also
hear that.
Well, terrible
God.
ending, but you got hit and were safe and healthy. Like you guys
That's it.
could have been a lot. So it really wasn't a terrible ending.
I had the thought one day I was driving. I was actually driving an Uber, and we were talking, and I said, "I wish you could pick." Because he said something like, "Yeah, you always get in an accident like at the worst time." Like, well, there's never a good time to get in an
Right.
accident. Like, it's always like, "Oh, I need this right now," but it does feel like sometimes it happens when like you really don't want it. But
this felt like that a lot.
like imagine like when you were born, like they said, all right, you're gonna get in 6 accidents. You can pick whenever they happen, and like you can literally like you can have like an off day, and you can be driving like, you know what? I guess I should take up one of those accidents today.
Yeah.
If
If you're having like a bad day at work,
you just
like,
gotta do it.
I'm ending this bad day at work with an accident.
yeah. Like I guess I should get one of my accidents out of the way today.
Yeah, that's so funny.
that would be amazing.
Imagine you could pick and choose. Like this is what's going to happen to you in your life. Like you did have like a table of contents, and you know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
And it's just
well,
like
I think about it all the time about living in bulk, and I think I brought that
Living
up.
in bulk.
I think I brought that up on this podcast, maybe or no, I don't know.
I might. It sounds
We've done another
familiar, but I like that
I know I've
term.
talked about this into a microphone before, but if they said like, and would you do it? Like you said, all right, let's say the average human spends 2 days in a waiting room or 2 days at the doctor.
Do it all at
Would
once.
Would you go spend 2 days or like 10 hours one day, 10 hours the next day, 10 hours the next day, like spend 4 days where you spend 10 hours in the doctor and get it all out of the way. Then you never have to go to another doctor in your life. And like all those things, would you live in bulk?
I would
Yeah.
do that, and I would probably waste the first 10 years of my life doing all the shit that I didn't want to do in bulk,
yeah.
and then have like a great fucking end of my life.
Retirement. Because that's what we're doing now.
would.
Like we're working in bulk to
Yeah.
retire later. Some
I
of
would.
us.
Hopefully soon.
yeah.
Close, baby. We're
Yeah,
close.
I want to ask about that.
I
But
would
yeah.
totally do that.
Yeah.
I've thought about that stuff too. Just work wise, where I'm
Or
like,
what about waiting at red lights? They say you wait like at the
Yeah.
overall, like when you add up how long you've been at red lights, it's like a year of your life waiting at red lights.
brushing my teeth. Like just let me brush my teeth for a couple days straight, and then let me wake up every morning with fresh breath. Like
Isn't it so crazy when you think about like, wow, I wasted a year of my life waiting at a red light. That's
Yeah.
like absolutely nothing that you're doing for
Just
one
sitting
whole
there.
year.
Yeah.
And when you think about that, it makes you sick. It makes you not want to drive.
It's a lot. I think about driving time where I'm like, I wish I could take tomorrow's drive. I wish I could drive for an hour today and take it off tomorrow's drive.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
Like
the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same sort of
Yeah.
thing, but I think I always think about that. Like on my day off, I was like, listen, I'll drive around for an hour and a half today,
nothing to do now.
tomorrow, and take an hour and a half off of my drive time tomorrow.
That's going to be the greatest perk of my hopefully potential new job that I'm about to get. Is it's a 4-day work week, so it's like bundling all your work hours in 4 days and
Yeah.
having 3 days to do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm never
So-
did that before, and I'm so looking forward to how I feel like it's like meant for me.
What is this dependent on?
I was supposed to go through. They were going to do 2 interviews with me on Friday. This place has had.
You already worked like a full day with them, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they do that in the middle of their interview, and then there's
Interesting.
another interview.
So you
after.
liked that? You liked?
I
the
did.
work.
I have no problem doing
Yeah.
what I'm going to do. If you know, I think the biggest thing I have to worry about is a background check with the points on my license.
You were out with somebody for the day?
Yeah, went out with one gentleman. And
So I wonder if part of it is like them analyzing you.
yeah,
out of it,
they said
I'm
it's
sure
they
it
said
is.
it's both. They said we want to get feedback.
which is
from
like
him.
it's kind of a smart thing to do because you hire somebody and then you don't know how they're going to actually
Be on the
work
road.
in the work.
I mean, you
place.
could put on a front for a day, but I feel
But
like
they don't-
things will creep out that.
So did you get paid for the day?
Yeah, I get paid for the day.
But they don't have to do all the paperwork of hiring you and then getting rid of
That's
you.
just a
If you don't fit, it's actually
Here's
really
a
smart
check for
move.
that day. So long.
Because like I've trained so many guys, and like I used to be a trainer. And, like the first day, I would be like, "This guy just like can't do the job."
You know
And,
right
like,
away.
So that's
it's
what
like-
they.
but-
That's
and he would-
exactly
he-
what they said.
He would spend a few days, and then he would not come back ever again. It's like then you wasted all that paperwork that you did like a
They do it to try and
onboard.
prevent turnover. Somebody, so once, so they see what they're actually going to be doing
Yeah.
before they commit to the job. So they like the first thing they ask you
Yeah.
is, "You work? Do you see yourself liking this? What was your favorite thing? What was your least favorite thing?"
Yeah.
And then they ask him, "We want to make sure that you're going to be able to do the job." So they said I got good feedback and I enjoyed
Great.
it. So yeah, they said positive.
That's
That
awesome.
was the feedback. They said positive feedback.
That's good, man. I really hope this happens.
So I think, but they were going to interview twice on on Friday, but one person had a meeting, so they couldn't do it, and now I have to go back for another one.
Okay.
This week.
That's good.
And then
I got
after
good
that,
feeling.
that's the final interview, and then hopefully it's just the background check.
Awesome.
I'm not even worried about the interview. I'm like, I told them up front, like I have a couple points on my license, but my license is valid, so hopefully it works.
I got my uncle a job doing what I do years ago, and it's tough work. I it's hand trucks up and down stairs.
Yeah,
like we
it's
do
the worst.
Ben's kosher delis, and it's like that's like the worst stop you can imagine. It's greasy floors, like 300-pound hand trucks upstairs, like potatoes
I
and
hate
meat and
So wait, what
cabbage.
do you deliver exactly? It's
We deliver everything,
But it's food?
It's all food, yeah.
Okay.
So my uncle was like, he's a big guy. He's like, he's like used to be a bodybuilder, so he's like a big, strong guy. But lifting a lot of my job, not necessarily doesn't matter how strong you are. It's all about technique.
I was just-
like I know guys like smaller than me who just fly upstairs with a hand truck, 300, 400 pounds in a hand
I've
truck, and
seen
they're
that
just
too.
pulling it
It's
upstairs.
insane.
It's all about how you're doing it. It doesn't really matter how strong you are, but you got to have core strength. Like, so my uncle's like kind of have always bragged about how he's in the gym all. He's got big guy, like he's always had big muscles. So he trained one day, not with me. And the guy was telling him what to do. His first day he went through. Second day he did a Benz, and it was like 200 cases up downstairs, whatever. And then the guy kept teaching him, like training him. And he goes, "Listen,
the technique to do it.
He goes, "Listen, like after the stop, my uncle's like white. They just finished the stop, and the guy's like teaching him about the paperwork. Goes, you can save all that." Stuff. He goes, I'll finish the rest of the day. He goes, but I'm never coming back here again. And that was it. It's 2 days.
Yo,
in.
some people, it's not
Yeah,
like
so
they
it's
don't want
like-
to do that shit.
Yeah, right.
It's not easy.
So-
So I this job, it's not heavy. It's mostly smells that were the bad part.
he don't like smells.
Well, because you're swapping cleans for dirties. So you're getting, but the dirty stuff is like grease towels that they use to clean up like a grill.
you probably see these guys out
Oh,
there
yeah, I
all the
see
time.
some
too.
That's
Yeah,
all the
so
time,
it's
yeah.
in like a garbage pail of other grease.
Do you do like nursing homes and stuff like that? Too?
The one day I did, we didn't have any, but I'm sure they have some. It's anybody with mats, uniforms,
Yeah, she did a lot of mats. Yeah.
soaps, dispensers, stuff, toilet paper. It's all
Mm-hmm.
like the toiletries and stuff.
Yeah.
But like they put them in a garbage pail outside, so the elements hit it, and it's
Yeah,
just,
it just
cold
sits.
and like hard almost because when it gets wet. But it stinks. It's like a
Those are the good
chemically
days.
dirty smell.
The cold frozen bags are the good days. The summer is the days that are rough.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe that too.
Yeah, because then it's just cooking out.
And then it's just sitting. Yeah, it's both gross. But the smell. I told them. They said, "What was the worst thing?" I said, "Honestly, the smell." But I can get you. Like
Yeah,
that.
you get used to that stuff. Dude, I see guys pumping cesspools.
Oh yeah.
And like I pull up when they're doing it. I'm like, I'm rushing at it to get done, and they're just like hanging out, pumping it. Like they're just like it's not.
It
even
is
a
what it
thing.
is after a
like this is
while.
what you work all day. You just can't.
Do you think they go home and smell like cesspool?
I would have to have like almost like an outhouse shower.
There's got to be. They got to do.
I
I
feel
would
like
like not
you
even
need
come in the
something under
house.
here. So my biggest when I
These
got
guys
home
don't
that
do
day,
it. Like they're just out. Like they're literally like they got a pipe.
it's
they have like that
gross.
rod. They got to like
Yeah.
loose like.
shit's popping out probably. Oh,
Oh my god,
Dude,
I'm not good with
I
smells.
couldn't
you
do
need
that.
something to put under your like. For me, even when I got home, I'm like, I'm still smelling this. I felt like it was like burned in my nostrils.
And sometimes it's like it's not burning your nostrils; it's burning your brain.
It
like,
is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not.
Sometimes
You
I-
don't smell it, but it's just the smells in your head. 100%.
Yeah, I'm like, I know that this doesn't exist anymore. Like, I've been like, but I can't get rid of this. It's just,
That's what
it's,
I
your
was like. All
brain
my
is so-
clothes were cleaned. I took a
brain is so
shower. I'm like,
powerful.
it's impossible that it's me. And I had gloves. It's not like there was on me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the smell was in my
Yeah, it's
nose that
just
whole
embedded
night.
in you.
And I was like, ooh, I got to get used to this. But you know what? You can just put little the dabs of like something strong under your nasal.
Yeah.
Kind of hard that smell. Hopefully,
Yeah, little eucalyptus.
no. You need something strong, like
Eucalyptus is strong.
smelling salts.
like the smelling salts. Like yeah.
Oh, like,
Yeah, every once in a while. But so yeah, I'm praying that I get this shit, and I like that I got to put a day in because if it was something awful, it's like I don't want to pursue this anymore.
Exactly.
good.
That's it. That is a
you know,
great
you can make
idea.
a career
More
out of
companies
that.
should
Like
do
a-
that.
you know,
Yeah,
I
well,
see
and that's
guys-
the other thing. I even told them I was like, listen, I filled out 10 applications for different jobs, and I just want to end the company so I could, go from there. And they were like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah,
want.
see guys, grown adults. It's like I said, that's a career type
Yeah,
job. You can-
exactly. So that's why I'm happy about it. So we'll cross our
Yep.
fingers. But biggest excitement that I have going right. Well, that's probably the biggest, but the second right up there, got basketball season started that I'm coaching,
Nice.
and it's my favorite thing to coach.
I love how you said that was the biggest before. and you're
Well,
like,
I
all
do
right.
need the job. I was like, in actuality, that's the excitement. But this is like passion wise, like I can't.
Have
wait
you
for
done this before?
I have 1 year, but as they getting older, like everything's getting better, like competition and all that.
Yeah.
But there's this one guy that kicked my ass in flag, the coach. He was running up scores. I didn't like how he did it, and I was already talking to my coach. Apparently, nobody likes this guy. If I have the chance to beat his team by 100 points, with even parents yelling at me, and I will do it. I will run up that score as much as I can to be. That's my goal this year.
So you're teaching this is coaching your
My nephew.
same nephew that you coached.
Same
in
one that I
flag.
did in flag.
Now they're doing, and it's a lot. And this
I
coach,
also
this
know-
same coach does.
Yeah, so there's a couple guys who are coaching
That's
both, so you
funny,
see
yeah.
some similar faces. A bunch of us went out because I'm friends with most of these guys, friendly at least. But that guy don't hang out with nobody. Everybody doesn't like him anyway. He's like a dick. So my goal this year is to destroy his. I want to piss the parents
That's
off on his
fun.
team. And then I'll beat him.
So I recently I've been seeing this photographer that does it does like athlete photo shoots for like kids like high school and
yeah.
and it's really cool. He gets like a fog machine involved, which I have a fog machine. It's like the back of them's all smoky, and it's like they're lit. It's like and they're like really like little kids like looking like badass
Yeah,
athletes.
that's cool.
I'm like I want to shoot that. So if you ever want to like try to
Dude,
do a photo
I'll
shoot with
try
like
that.
your
I'll get my
nephew or something
nephew
like that,
going.
yeah.
Did you ever see people who do like for like a gymnast say with like the what do they call that? Is it talcum powder that
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that? Like they'll throw it up and then take the shot, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has like the powder. They do that. I seen people doing that with dirt for like a catcher.
I did it
Yeah,
with
yeah.
coffee. Did you see my latest video?
Oh yes, you did. Would you want to be like LeBron with the coffee?
I'll, next time I see one of those come up on my Instagram, I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
and
do
then you
it.
can say like, we'll try to recreate.
You
one of
guys should
those
do that.
Shoots.
You could probably make that a little side hustle.
You can make
right?
that. You could probably do pretty good because I'm like, you could
Yeah.
probably charge parents
You should.
$200
Yeah.
for a photo shoot, like realistically, and he has most of the shit.
And Chick could be the middleman. Chick is like, listen,
I could definitely get you
Yeah,
kids.
we'll get like
Chick can get you kids. You need kids. He can get you kids.
we gotta find a
Just
court.
smoke them up,
We'll
make
go to
them
a
look
court.
all.
Yeah.
I would love to be the one just throwing dirt at them as he's taking photos.
We gotta find a court, and then do it on the court, and I'll give them like a bed of smoke.
I
to
could
like
get
stand
all
like
of this
a,
for
like
you.
a, yeah.
That stuff, I could get you the courts, the kids.
Yeah.
I
It
got
could even
you.
be like an outdoor court if it's not too cold out, you know.
At my house, I have an outdoor court.
Well, you know, like the lines and the whole
should- it
thing.
should
you
look
know,
True, I
nice.
don't have the lines.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad look, but it doesn't
Nah,
have the lines. Yeah, no,
yeah,
we got to
it's-
do it a little better.
Yeah.
You're gonna go that far. You want to make sure it's.
I helped, like I told you, I did that photo shoot with my friend, and I saw some of the pictures. They actually came out really good.
Yeah.
Freezing day, but came out good. I was happy
That's
with
good.
myself.
That's good.
Nice.
I'll definitely go to a basketball game. When is the
Yeah, I'll
first
go to a
game? Do you know?
basketball game.
So we have actually this. The other thing I like about this is flag. We didn't really have practices. There was only so much you could do. I already have 3 practices before our first game.
Well, you learned. You see, you know, you.
Well, yeah, I
you
learned
gotta
my lesson
set
too.
up plays and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But at least with basketball, I know we have practices to try and teach.
You do
them.
scrimmages and stuff with the kids.
So they usually do 2 teams will practice. So yeah, we'll scrimmage with another team.
You scrimmage with another team. Not,
Oh,
not,
yeah.
Not an inter-team
Depends on how many.
scrimmage.
If you get a 10 kids, yeah, you could do a little 5-on-5 scrimmage.
Nice.
I love basketball, so I can't
Don't
wait
do-
to coach.
I used to go to basketball camp, and I used to hate, like, my whole day I was just anxious if I didn't want to be skins. You know what I mean? They used to show
Yeah.
skins.
That was a lot of.
You know
I
what's
used- I
funny?
used-
They
I-
probably can't do shirts. And
I probably
skins
don't.
now.
I think they give like jerseys, like a red
Yeah,
jersey.
the
out now.
pin,
when I went, it was, like,
double-sided jerseys.
shirts for skins.
Pennies.
But I had like
Pennies, yeah.
I used to do this bit in my act where I'm like I used to panic. Like I had tits. Like I don't want anybody to know. Like I,
Yeah.
I'm like, but I was fine with my bottom half. Like I could show that all day. I'm like, I'd rather play tops versus bottoms. I said,
Yeah.
I said, just let me
Go
wear
with my
let me-
cock swinging.
Let me be a top every day. You know, I'll go I'll lay up.
That's funny because I used to like I never, even though I didn't care, like when I was younger, I didn't want to be the skins guy. You're a fat fuck. You don't want to be skins. Especially
It's brutal. I remember watching like my friend who was bigger be skins, and he would have like a meltdown before doing it. But he wanted to play. It's awful.
it is. Think
And
about it.
everybody's
like take your shirt off.
Yeah,
And I remember like people
expose your
wa-
biggest insecurities right now.
Yeah,
then get out there and play.
And then run around
Yeah,
with
yeah.
your jiggle.
Yeah, and then everybody's look at his tits move when he goes up for
You're
the
just gonna get made
rebound.
fun of the rest of the
It
year.
doesn't kind of matter how big you are, like how good you are. Like you can be good. Like eventually, like oh he's good, but they're still gonna keep talking about
Yeah,
it.
they're still gonna call me.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
how about your tits? Fuck yeah.
Guy's tits move in the breeze. Oh, it's awful.
It is so funny because I used to hate swim. Did you guys have to go to swim in when you were in high school?
No, never.
I never did swim either.
So I had a swim class where it's like in the middle, it was like second period. Let's go in the pool. It was fucking awful.
I don't know how I missed the swimming. I think I did cooking. Did you do cooking?
Yeah, I did, but my cooking, I did it later in my high school, and I had free the period before cooking, and I used to get fucking high as a kite in my free period and come in, and then a bunch of my friends worked in tech that was right below the cooking, so I would never cook, and I would just wait for the food to be done, and then I would launch shit out the window to my friends and fucking
my
top class below us. My teacher once came to me and she goes, we actually have like a test or something next week. Can you try and come into class in the right state of mind? I'll try.
I like that you guys called it cooking. We called it home ec.
Well, yeah, that's what
I did home ec first, but I also then it
I
turned.
guess there was. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think we did have a cooking class. I
Yeah.
just didn't take it. Yeah,
I did advanced foods, and then I
was that truffle? What are you doing?
yeah.
what was
well,
advanced foods?
I don't know. It was like the second level of the class and I wasn't great at it, but like I was like, I'll do it. It's fun because you sat there and you made an apple pie.
Yeah, and you ate at the end of every class.
But I remember my last year there, probably was senior year. I didn't give a shit. But they put you in a group. I was in a group with 2 other girls, and
that's what you needed, a strong group that could cook.
yeah, and I was just an idiot. I would make fun of stuff. I'm like, oh. But one of the girls who was younger, complained. Like her parents got involved. Like this guy's all he does is joke around. He's not taking it
No,
serious.
heaven forbid.
And
God forbid she takes the brunt of the grade.
exactly.
And just pass for
but no,
everybody.
she wasn't. She was a young. There was another girl that was doing like most of the work. But like
You know what? That's how a cookie crumbles
that's
sometimes.
how it works. And I never got in trouble. But like I knew from the other girl that like. I think the teacher was like, "Yeah, it's fine. This is what the group is." But she definitely
Group
Fair.
project. You gotta, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, Ron Bennington always said a couple times, and I love this sentiment about He's like, being funny is like a viable thing. It's like it's an important part of society that we have funny people around. He's like, but you never hear a teacher be like, your kid is, he's in second grade, but he's actually funny at a fifth grade level. That's, acknowledge when the kid is funny. Like, don't shame a kid for being funny. Like, yeah, you want to keep him in control, but also be like, that was a good joke. And then if another kid's like speaking out, trying to be funny, he's not funny, but you're not Brendan. You're not Brendan.
You're on a first grade level.
You're still on a first grade level. Brendan's funny at a fifth grade level.
Can we save the jokes for this kid?
Yeah.
By the way, and it wasn't like I was a bad kid. I was just throwing in funny.
I was the same way. I was very much in line, but I would have some classes where I would be the funny kid.
That's kind of how it was. Like, I mean, I would get in trouble, but most of it was because of just talking too much and just being like a clown.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything serious.
Not much has changed. We're doing the same thing we did.
So my math class, I was ahead in all my math. So I was a year ahead in math, and I wound up taking a 50 in 11th grade because I was like, I don't need this class. That was my issue. Is like I could have graduated high school with college credits and like a good ass GPA, like good. I was fucking ahead in all my classes.
All the things that anybody could say about you, I don't think anybody would call you like a dumb person. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm self-destructive.
You're a smart guy.
Yeah,
you just
which is dummy because I'm so self-destructive.
Yeah, but a lot of people, I like one of my closest friends, same thing. Like, just never really gave a shit. But a smart. Like a lot of the smartest people I know are people who are like, they don't care.
Yeah, I didn't care. I was more about socializing.
Yeah.
I went to take my SATs high as a fucking rocket, and I got an 1100. I couldn't even write in script. I literally, when they make you write the "I will not cheat" in script. Yeah. Like it's like a.
Do they do that on the SATs?
Yeah, I remember.
I don't remember that,
and I couldn't write in script.
Maybe they just.
So I would write print.
Are you sure they just didn't do that to you?
I swear to God, it was on the board, and I remember sitting there for like 5 minutes. Like, how the fuck am I?
Just connect the letters.
I did it in print and like swiggled it together. Like it was like it was probably the most ridiculous statement ever. But I got an 1100 on it.
You just made like fancy print.
Yeah, exactly. The only name I could write, the only letters I could is my name. I could write my name in script. Yeah. You ask me to write like an essay in script, it's not going to be good.
I don't know if I could do like the full alphabet in script right now if you ask me to.
Well, we didn't. Once like we started using like typing for everything. There was never any like write this in script. Yeah. So I stopped doing it in high school. And I remember for the SATs, I almost panicked because I'm like, I can't write that. And it was just like a declaration of that I will not cheat.
Is there points for that?
No, it's just you have, but your test wouldn't count unless you have that because it's like your admission to not cheating.
Funny, I really just don't remember that. I must have done it.
But it was like even driving. I
think I took the SATs.
Driver's ed. I took high as a fucking kite.
I'm like, I don't think I took.
Can you not take the SATs?
You don't know. SATs are optional. You didn't have to take them.
I knew I wasn't going to college, so I don't.
A lot of people, if you know you're not going to even apply, like I was under the impression that I always thought that I would go to school, graduate in 4 years, not realizing that I do not like school and it just wasn't going to be for me.
Right.
So I did everything like I was going to go to school. I applied, and I only applied to Nassau and like fucking SUNY Farmingdale. And then
you have to apply to Nassau?
I think you have to get accepted. Like it's not like an application, but you do have to like submit. You have to put in the paperwork.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
I think like a final like in high school, but I don't think it was the SATs.
Yeah, but so when I was ahead in math, back to the whole point of it, I used to go into class 15 minutes late every day. I used to stop at the snack store before I went in there. I would come in with snacks. My teacher would fucking get mad at me every day. And then I would take my desk and I would eat my snacks and then catty corner it and sleep for the rest of class. When she would give us tests, I would write my name on it and hand it into her. So at the end,
no answers?
No answers. I didn't need the class. I was not a senior, so they wouldn't give me a free period. They said you have to take this. And instead of me like, I don't want to screw my GPA up, like I was an asshole who didn't care about anything. And I brought my whole GPA down. Like I wound up graduating when
that's weird to me. I wasn't a great student either, but you'd think that you just minimal, at least try to fill it out.
That was my issue. Is when I didn't care about something, I checked. Like I just didn't care. Like it literally was like, oh well. So I'll never forget. She's reading out the final grades in class, and she was like, if you don't want me to read it out loud, I won't. If you don't care, I'll just say it out loud. If not, come up. So she goes to me and she goes, Tom. And I was like, no, you could read it out loud. She's like,
because you're sure?
Well, the lowest grade we could give was a 50. And I was extremely generous. I got like a 20 in the class for the year. And she gave me a 50. But I I killed my whole like I was an idiot. I'm not proud of any of it. But yeah, when my last couple years of school, I was just like, oh, I already graduated basically.
That's
And
very
everything that I
interesting.
did good my first
If you had a
10
higher
years,
GPA, what would you have done with that?
I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, I don't know.
You
I
probably
honestly-
wouldn't be begging for a job at Synthesis.
Like, I
right
feel
now.
like maybe if I did better, I could have gotten into a better college. Maybe I would have taken things more serious. But because I didn't care and I just applied to Farmingdale, and to me it was like 11th and 12th, it was like 13th and 14th grade, and I didn't give a shit. Like I had a piss poor attitude. That's really what it was.
I like how you said had.
Because I could have graduated with high school with college
graduate
credits
that
and a
piss
good
poor
GPA.
attitude.
Instead, I had no college credits. It was just I was an idiot.
Yeah.
Was.
Yeah,
Had.
exactly. Bad habits.
We're
don't,
still here.
Yeah, bad habits don't change. So yeah, that was my life.
Still is.
Still is. Gotta start caring sometimes.
You got a little bit.
A little bit.
But like even with that one class, like all you had to do, minimal effort. You coulda-
Minimal, yeah.
You could,
And I was good in math. Like
I know,
there was
that's-
no. If I would have just paid attention, I probably would have got a 95, 100 in that class.
amazing.
Like math was always science. I wasn't good in. Like I had to try in science, but like math was just naturally good at it.
Yeah. Oh, Chick, you are something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Have you ever met anybody like this?
I have actually, but you know,
Yeah, I guess there's a lot roaming around Long Island.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of
yeah,
people who don't maximize their potential.
Yeah, that's true.
absolutely. There's not.
It's probably more who don't than do.
It's like a famous like. I've often thought that. Like I think like one of the saddest things is people like wasted potential.
Wasted talent. Well, who said?
Yeah.
What movie is that? Was that
From something, yeah.
That's from.
I think it's from a
A
Bronx,
Bronx
Tale.
Tale.
Bronx
The
Tale.
worst thing in the world is wasted talent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
It's true though.
yeah. Listen, that's a stupid thing because there's worse things in the world. But yeah, it's a bummer when
It's a
somebody's-
frustrating thing to
yeah, when
watch.
somebody's like, God, like most people would love to have things as easy, like just math come as easy to
Yeah.
them as you, or to have a skill and you're just throwing it away.
I know.
what I mean?
Listen,
What was his name at Chaz Palminteri in the Bronx
Terry,
Tale?
what was
Sonny.
Sonny,
Sonny,
yeah.
yeah.
Sonny had a lot of good.
With 3 fingers.
yeah.
He only took.
I went to
That's
go s-
easy.
I
That's
went to go s-
Sonny.
I went to
Yeah.
go see him do that at the one man show at the
I've
Paramount.
been wanting
Was
to
it
see
good?
that. I heard it was amazing.
It was, yeah. I didn't really want to go. My mother wanted to go, and I have a friend of mine who's like gets me tickets to that place. So I'm like, yeah, we'll go. So I went. My mother, my aunt, and I was going just to drive them, and but
be a nice
it was,
guy.
but it was actually pretty impressive.
I heard it was awesome.
How I enjoyed it more than I thought it was.
I would
He
like to
wrote
see
the-
that.
I liked the movie,
Yeah.
but I'm like, well, I'm gonna see one guy do all the parts. But it was like, holy shit, this guy's.
I
good.
heard.
Even
I heard
at
it
his
was
age,
great, and
yeah.
I've wanted to see it, and I never got a
Yeah, he
chance.
still
to.
goes like I
Does
think
it?
like
Is he
once a
still
year,
doing
he
it?
runs
Still
through.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got. That's got to be a bucket list thing for me.
We should do that. We should do that.
That's coffee cakes.
What are you gonna do? Throw shit up against your screen?
I went ice skating underneath the Brooklyn Bridge Park last week.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, it was awesome.
Is that like a huge rink? Is it a rink
No,
or a ring?
it's-
Rink, right?
Rink.
Yeah. No, it's
Hockey rink?
Hockey rink.
Ice skating ring.
Rink.
I'm asking. I'm not saying I know
I
either
get
way.
it.
I'm trying to confirm this.
Rink.
I always
I think
say
it's
rink, but if someone says, "Did you say rink?" I'd be like, "No."
You just mumble that
Just
word on
mumble it,
purpose?
exactly.
No, because they have the rinks out here,
Yeah.
and that's it's a
Yeah,
hockey
it's just
rink.
because it's not round, so it's
It's
not
not a ring.
I'm asking.
Yeah, it's
I don't.
I know. We're figuring it out together.
Okay,
I didn't
wasn't
mean
sure
to.
if you're yelling at me.
I didn't mean
was
to
like,
be
dude,
so
I don't
aggressive.
know. That's why I'm asking.
I don't know either. To me, I think it's a rink.
It's fine.
It's got to be right. Ice is. I always assume ice is the rink, and then a ring is like a boxing ring.
But then some people call ice a ring. On a ring, there's ice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, and ice. Okay, I was like, wait, what?
That's a stretch.
That's
I feel like you guys are like, I'm not really even questioning if it's rink. Like you guys are like, is it rink? I keep just saying rink, and you guys are like, I don't know, it could be ring. I'm like, I'm telling you it's rink. And you're just completely ignoring me.
You know what? At first you weren't. I didn't know if you were confident in that, but now all right, I got you.
I guess when you asked, I was like, rink.
Yeah,
But,
you didn't
'cause
exactly
I said it
exude
with I said it with a
confidence.
question mark, but I meant it with a period. So.
You weren't confident. He wasn't confident.
Yeah.
I wasn't confident. And then
Yeah, I haven't gone ice skating much, but like I saw this thing on Instagram. You know, it's like I love that whole area, the Brooklyn Bridge Park. Like you're literally
Beautiful
underneath.
area.
You're literally underneath the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
It's so, and then they project the Manhattan onto the bridge, so like you can see you could see what is behind the bridge. Like if the bridge wasn't there, it shows you
that's
what was
cool.
there. So yeah, it was just
My grandfather, one of his stories is he fell off the Brooklyn Bridge. Not at the top. I think it was like closer to the base, but he did. He fell
Well,
off
yeah,
the
heard that,
Brooklyn
yeah.
on the,
Bridge.
if you ever walked on the Brooklyn Bridge,
I've never did that's why I'm saying I've never done the touristy things that I want to do in New York.
yeah, like as it starts, it's a very gradual. It's
Oh, I
you
believe-
could fall off at the very beginning and be okay.
right.
You could just
He used to always say I fell off the Brooklyn Bridge was one of, and he got hit by a Mack truck. But I also don't know about the Mack truck. But he swears it was true. Like
Like,
my
it
other
coulda
uncle
happened.
used to tell stories. I told you guys about this. The one who said he was at Iwo Jima and like he did everything.
Right.
Every major event he was part of. But
yeah, that guy.
Like
he used
Forrest
to
Gump.
lie. My grandfather used to like swear by the stories he would tell us. So I don't know if I believe the Mack truck, but I always believe the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah. I was just like I've never ice skated much, and I don't. Do you guys know a lot of hockey fans? Like I feel like I'm
I
on
know a
Long
lot of
Island,
hockey
there's so
fans.
many.
I'm not.
Yeah,
though.
a little bit.
It's so crazy how hockey fans are like hockey fans, and like they'll like other sports, whatever. But like hockey is
They're
there.
like cult. It's like a cult.
It's so funny to me. And
I like hockey, but like, yeah, I know what you're saying. Is this
Do you skate often though? Like, is that
no, it's I think my third time ever skating.
How was it? Like, are you
Good.
comfortable
I used to
on there?
rollerblade a lot.
Oh, okay,
So I felt like I was like, it's kind of the same thing. I kind of had to get my footing a little bit, but I was telling Monique, she goes, I'm like, oh, I'm nervous. I don't want to fall, And I was like, I stepped on the ice and I was like, oh, but it took a couple of glides.
How was
before I
she?
was
She like a-
she was very cautious the whole time, like stepping.
Okay.
She was walking on the ice mostly.
The thing I find about ice skating is when you go around the ring one time, the
rink.
you get it. Is it rink or ring? I'm sorry, but no, when you go around the rink,
Yeah.
you sort of get it the first time, or the second.
Do you? Are you an ice skater?
I can skate, but
I
it's,
can't picture that.
Once
but
you
it's
pick it up, like, once you
what
get
I'm
to
saying
that
is
point-
when you go around the circle, it takes a few times.
Yeah, then-
but once you get it going, it's like, all right, I got this.
I got to the point where it's like doing like the the
Yeah.
foot over foot. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
so jealous. Okay, I have one story ever. My buddy, when we were in elementary school, it was like his family were going ice skating. Like, oh, you want to come? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. I put the shoes on, the ice skates on. I'm like, wow, these are way too tight. Like, I just didn't like how tight they were around my ankles and shit.
Hey.
And I'll never forget, I took one step on the ice and it was like that. And I was like, I'm good.
That was it.
That was it. And to this day, I regret and I'm mad that I never tried. And
Oh, we
I
should
do
go,
want to
'cause
try.
it's- you can
Let's
just,
go
like-
ice skating.
how many things are we gonna say we're gonna do?
This one I would really do because I love.
You're
ice
the one who
We're
holds
gonna make
us
a
back.
list. So me and Monique made a list that we share. Make it like
Can we do this list with you
anytime,
guys?
anytime something comes up, we're gonna go, I'm like, add it to the list because you forget about these
We
things.
can do
when you
double
say-
dates.
So so we got to make a list
It's
of
gonna be
things
me and
to
Biggie,
do.
him and Monique.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was a very
so
romantic, very
jealous.
romantic night. It was almost a night like it was. I never would have done this, but the other night I'm like, this was so romantic. Like this is a night that you propose.
I was just
Because
asking
we
you, like-
went on like the Brooklyn Bridge. There's a carousel there. So we went on the carousel.
That's when you
Then
do
we
it.
went ice skating on the Brooklyn Bridge Park. Then we ate at this place called the Osprey, which is like a really nice restaurant at
feel like
in
I've
this
heard of
hotel. It's beautiful, and it's like we sat by the window with the view of the Brooklyn Bridge. Then we went up to like a rooftop lounge
you
and
do
had
it.
had dessert up there, looking at the
Taking the
and I'm
top
like,
of the
I'm like,
Empire
I'm
State
like, this
Building.
is like. I'll never like if I'm ever gonna propose again. Like this is
a tough day to-
I'm like I'm just gonna replay this night. Like I can't do it.
That's
I can't do
good.
anything better than this. And it was kind of none of it was really planned. Like the ice skating was planned. Everything else we kind of just stumbled into.
Well, that's what I feel like. You guys are good like that. You guys are kind of like spurring them, or just kind of on a whim.
yeah,
just go and do it,
Yeah. No, it was awesome.
which
but-
is a good way to do things.
But I would like to skate more because it's really
I
fun.
wanna just try
I used
it
to do like
once.
inline skating, like where
Let's
I
do
would
it.
I would do like
that's
jumps.
something I want to do.
I used to like do like jumps and stuff on my blades. So like I guess if you're comfortable enough in rollerblades, then you can.
is
kinda,
it the same thing in theory?
It takes
is.
a little bit. It's a little bit slippery,
yeah,
but
but-
once the motions are the same, once you get into it, yeah.
I was a late bike rider. I never forget. I learned how to ride my bike later than like all my friends. Not that it was a big
How
deal.
old? How old are we talking?
I wish I could. I don't remember, but I'll say 3 years, 2 years after my friends were all riding a bike. Like it was after. Like
Yeah.
I was always the worst on the
Were
bike.
you on
with my
training
friends.
wheels up until
No,
like
just
7
I
or
mean,
8?
we weren't really riding bikes around at that time, but like
Okay.
if they would come over and people like I didn't ride a bike, it just didn't, what it wasn't what I did.
What'd you do?
I mean, we were thankfully we were big sports fans, and a lot of our activities were sports related.
Okay.
So I didn't like. But when we got older, because I was I was always worse on the bike than everybody else. I could do everything fine.
You weren't good on a bike.
I was okay. I could get to where I could go no hands by like when I hit high school, like I was fine. But
You're
like
okay.
I was always so like if my friends were all biking, I was always the one in the back. Like I was always last.
Yeah.
It was just how it was. I wasn't
Yeah.
the fast, like cruising on the
I
bike.
lived on a bike, man, as a kid.
Love
Like
the
that
bike.
was just.
We lived on them, but I just,
Yeah.
for me, it was always the back of the pile.
Were you like nervous riding
No,
it?
at that point, it's like I knew, but they were just all better, like more comfortable.
Yeah, I was the worst.
cruising.
Like I used to hang out with kids that would do like those. They would go to the rhythm sections. They would call them, like in the forest. Like they would,
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah,
would,
yeah.
like dig
But
out.
it's like, yeah.
Like I even one of them now.
I never heard that called, like, the rhythm section.
Even one kid now, you post on Instagram, he's still going to do this stuff. In
Really?
his 40s, yeah. And I'm like, this kid's still doing it. Like, yeah. I was just,
Yeah,
I would help like dig the ramps and then just hang out.
I was always just like, I wasn't like, doing wheelie. Like I was just get to point A to point B, and I could do no hands, and that was about it.
I'm looking at some of the stuff I pulled up our list of things to do. You guys should.
Let's see what I would do.
We're
guys
gonna
should-
want to join you.
you guys
on
should-
that.
you guys
It's gonna
should-
be the four of us
You guys
soon.
we can mark what is going to be a double date with the babies. So let's go to Coney Island.
I would, like
I
to
would
go to
love to
Coney
do
Island.
Yeah, I want to go to Coney.
Everything you're gonna do, I'm gonna wanna
That
do.
would be fun. That would be fun to do. I think that's a perfect thing. Go to Battery Park. Bike the west side of Manhattan. Like some of these things.
Those two I don't really
So like
care
biking the west side of Manhattan, like I was just explaining,
Yeah.
that's not in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
If I was in the back of someone's, like in those, when they're riding the bike,
Yeah,
like
some
a
of these
carriage.
stuff we've already done. Cold Spring Harbor Preserve.
I love that you have a list. I feel like more couples should do that.
Rent jet skis. Preferably, I want to rent jet skis in the Hudson, like because you can ride
Yeah,
jet
I've
skis
seen that.
through
Could
like
you?
around Manhattan.
That sounds fun. I
I've
would
done
do
jet
that.
skis so much that it's
Yeah.
like, oh, whatever. But I've never done it in the Hudson. I wouldn't mind.
I would
it.
love
There's
to
other
do
things
that.
like just go to the Nautical Mile. Like I just want to go to dinner at the Nautical Mile. I feel like I haven't spent nearly as much time there as I
Yeah,
would like
I
to.
like the
see that.
nautical mile.
Yeah.
It's changed over the years.
There's like there has like dance party boats on Manhattan. There's
I want to do salsa dancing.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I would love to.
So
do
we talked
salsa
about
dancing.
taking a class.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah.
Like I would love to
Yeah.
learn how to salsa dance because I would love to go to like an underground like salsa fucking place and just be like,
Look at this list, though.
killing it.
That's a big list.
dude. That's a
Look at
great
those- look
list.
at those.
What's your thoughts on glass blowing?
I would love to try it.
I would love to glass blow.
Oh, there's a place.
They let
in,
people glass blow like
Yeah,
practicing?
a lot of
Yeah,
classes.
you know,
I
I
didn't know
don't
that.
know
The
how much
reason
they
why I
handle.
always wanted to do that, and when we were driving up, we saw like glass places, and I think Lauren and I might try to find something
that's
like
fun,
that.
yeah.
So if you guys want to do something like that,
What's great about that list for me, though, and that I think more couples should do that, is it always like people get stuck doing the same boring shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're gonna go to the same like our date night is movie.
Yeah.
We go to the same restaurant or
Which is
one
nice
of
to
3
do a movie
restaurants.
every once in a while, you know.
No, but I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But that allows a little bit of excitement that you guys will always have something to look forward to.
There's always on a day off. It's always like go to the list, find something new.
yeah, find something
new to do.
different,
something that fits the
and
day.
you'll
yeah.
always have something. You'll always be doing shit like that.
Yeah.
List is so you can years you could do that.
Oh, and we keep adding stuff too.
Exactly.
We'll never,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's never gonna end.
That's good. That's a good idea.
Most people, it's like us. We say it, and if you don't write it down or really think about
Yeah,
it,
I'm a trigger puller. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah.
Just B is killing me.
Don't put it on me.
Wednesday-
I will because I have the availability now to pretty much do whatever we want.
All right, set up a day right now in the calendar. I'm dead serious. Set up a day when we're going
I'm
ice
free,
skating.
guys.
Set it up.
Well, like, you want to do it at night?
Yeah, why not?
And
I mean,
where,
we'll do this after the show. We'll set it up. I mean, I feel like no one wants to
This
listen to us
Saturday,
go through.
9 o'clock, the
I'm
9th.
good. I'm good.
9 o'clock
I
what?
would love this Saturday.
Can you do this Saturday?
When?
This Saturday
night?
evening.
Saturday night?
Yeah,
Day
Saturday
or
night
night, I'll
evening.
Yeah, I can do
I
Saturday.
work
evening.
during the day.
Yeah,
Saturday
so do
night.
I work it. I work.
You wanna
during
do
the day.
that?
So Saturday night we'll do something. We'll do something on the list. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, Saturday night.
let's go ice
You got no
skating.
shows Saturday?
I have a show Saturday.
Didn't that you just say Saturday?
I have a show Friday. I have no
You
show
didn't
Saturday.
say- yeah,
I
we're
know.
talking about
Kind of a comic, you. No shows on Saturday.
I know it's kind of a weird day to have free.
I have
Yes, it
the
takes-
show the night before. So listen, it's in my
That's
calendar.
exciting. Yeah, let's find something to do.
So I
right.
put it in.
That's
Let's
it.
see if you guys did.
Okay, cool. I love
All
it.
right, all right, good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Now it gives me something to do for the weekend too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Maybe they're hiring. You could drive the Zamboni. You
I
never know.
have a pick this week though.
Ooh.
That's funny. I
Random.
almost called you Friday because I had nothing to do Friday, and I was like, "What's it called? Chicks." He wants to come over, watch a movie, or meet up. Watch
I
a
would have
movie, something
came,
like that.
yeah.
You would have
But
liked
then I
that.
ended up just sitting here and editing photos all night.
Well,
yeah,
you have other things that you could do, but yeah, you could always call me, man. I'm down.
yeah.
I this is a weird one to recommend, but it was so good. So Michael Jackson, we could separate the man from the music, right? We've had these combos. So there's this excellent documentary. It just came out on Paramount about the making of the Thriller album. But it's like about the making of the album, his life a little bit beforehand, and then it gets into the video, the movie. It gets into a lot. But it was actually like extremely good, and that album was just so amazing.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
And I didn't realize that Eddie Van Halen played the guitar solo on Beat It. I knew they had a different guy do the actual like melody, but he did the solo. It was just a lot of little things like that I didn't know, and it was just extremely interesting. And sucks that he was a pedophile because he was so fucking talented. That guy,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah. What? Where is this on?
This was on, my voice is going today.
Yeah.
This was on Paramount.
Paramount. I think I have that.
If you don't, I got you. I got it. I can lend it to you. It was
everything.
awesome.
Yeah.
I do. Streaming services is one way I can help people, but it was so good. Like if anybody who was if you were a fan of the album Thriller or even the song or whatever, it was so good.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So
check it
that's
out.
I haven't picked a documentary in a while, and I haven't watched any new movies really. So that's
I can request the Holdovers, which
Yes,
I told
I
you
saw
guys.
it.
Is that
I told you
good?
guys to watch.
I saw you recommend. I'm gonna watch that probably tonight or tomorrow.
Well, I'm trying to get ahead of these Oscar-nominated movies. And
That's definitely
the
gonna
word,
be
word on
Oscar.
the street is that somewhere it's going to be either actor or Best Picture.
Oh, really?
That's gonna
Up
be,
there like that?
I
That's
heard
going to be
that's in there,
somewhere
yeah.
in the mix. That's
Okay.
that's all I kept hearing, and I liked it a lot. I actually thought, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like the Oscar type of movie.
well, that's why when I first saw it, I haven't heard anything about it. I was
Yeah.
like, all right.
I'm surprised that it's getting talks about it, but I would have liked to see it anyway because I like Alexander Payne and Paul Giamatti. So like,
I love Paul Giamatti.
yeah.
I don't
was
know
saying-
who Alexander Payne is.
He also did Sideways, which is
Okay,
The guy with
Giamatti.
the wavy hair, is that him?
I don't know what
in
he looks
Sideways.
like, actually, I don't think.
I
no.
got it.
Oh, he's the
was
director
he was
of-
a director.
oh, okay,
Yeah, he was
alright.
a director, yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking of one of the main actors in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guy from
The
Wings?
wavy hair.
The wavy.
Was he in Wings?
You know
The
the
guy
wavy
from
hair
Wings?
director.
Yeah.
So is that a streaming thing? You have to pay for it
You
still?
can, it's in the theater, I think, but I bought it. Actually, Monique bought it $20 for
Okay.
off of Amazon.
Yo, if you're gonna
or
go to a
Apple.
movie and if like
Yeah, you save money.
you
Yeah,
save
like-
money to buy it on the
do.
streaming.
If you wait, it might show up on a streamer.
Yeah,
but I
definitely will.
I,
No,
I
all
liked
these
it.
new movies, but there's
Yeah.
so like for him, it's not going to be on a streaming service before the Oscars because when it's in theaters, they're not allowed to put it on a streaming service. I want to say 6 months until after it's
Oh, is that
debuted
true?
in the
No,
theaters.
that's not true.
There's a month. It's like a 3 months.
They have to take it off of the streaming service.
No. They can't put it onto a streaming service until X amount of months.
Yeah, but
after
there's
it's
movies that
theatrical
there's
release.
movies that only appear
because
on
those are
streaming
bought.
services.
Those are bought from that's a streaming service movie. Like if you look, it'll say like HBO original, Paramount original.
Right, but they also have to be in the theater. You can't get nominated for an Oscar unless you've been in the theater.
You have to
so
be
you
in
have
the
to
theater.
you have to
So
be in
they
some
will.
theaters.
Yeah, they'll put them in theaters and on the streaming service.
Gotcha.
So it's odd. It's weird. I don't want to. I don't want. It's not like it's a definite, but it's like a 2 or 3 month. They usually after theaters. The theater release that they release it in streaming services.
Yeah, I liked it. So
I've actually had my eye on it too, and I'm okay. I'll
I
definitely.
kind of
watch
want
that.
to see it in theaters. I ever since we went to the theater, I'm like I just like I pay attention more in the theater.
well, let's pick a different movie and go
and
go
go?
see it in the theater because I'm looking at the ones I sent you to guys to go watch. I'm looking at I sent you pictures of.
2 of them.
No, I sent
I
you,
remember the
I sent
Holdovers.
you a bunch of them. I think.
I only
Maybe
remember
not.
2. The holdovers and that.
Are you sure you sent it
Maybe.
to us?
Maybe I only sent you 2 of them, and I can't find them anyway.
What was the
Anyway,
second
Doesn't
one?
matter.
Holdovers
remember.
was the second. The first one was that. What the hell was the name of it? I don't want to scroll through it right now. But
Yeah, I'm looking through our pictures, but I don't see them. Oh, Holdovers. Yeah, okay. I screenshotted 5 of them that day, but I only sent you the Holdovers. But
I just
remember.
remember the holdovers.
Yeah, but there's
I'm
another
good.
one.
No, that is my. I know somebody else who saw that. That will be watched this week.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's crazy. So do you think it's a legit best movie?
I'd be surprised if it won, but I liked it
do
a
you,
lot.
But do you think it's up there with? I mean, did you
No.
watch any of the other ones? Did you watch Beau Was Afraid yet?
I haven't watched Beau Was Afraid, and Oppenheimer might be the next one that I watch.
Okay.
So
I can't
But,
wait to see
like,
what you think of that.
I would be surprised if it won Best Picture because it just seemed like it was. They usually pick movies that are a little more epic than this. Like it was
And
a
they
great
also-
story.
I-
It was great acted. But
I feel like they also go with like I don't even know how to word it. Like just odd movies,
Although there was
like
that movie
artistic, like
that won a couple years ago about
Parasite.
the
one a few years
Parasite.
ago.
Yeah. But there was one a couple years ago. It was an Apple TV movie about the deaf family.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, and I thought that was I enjoyed that movie, but to me it was like a feel good movie. Like
I
this is
love
not,
that
some
movie,
of those-
though.
Yeah, I did
he loves
enjoy
a
it
good
thoroughly.
feel-good story.
I cried at the
But
end. Did you
that's
cry?
not- Yeah, but it doesn't say a lot to me. I literally watched the worst movie I've ever seen in my life the other day, and I cried during it.
Which one?
So Barrington does they call it Netflixmas, where they pick out one of these like Hallmark type movies, but like the Netflix does like Christmas movies.
That's a good idea.
And then so they tell the audience to watch it, and then they do this every Thursday to discuss.
they do like an episode
do
on
like,
it?
They like talk
That's
about
a good
it.
idea. I like
I like to, I
Beautiful.
like
You
I
need
like
an
to be able
audience to do that, though.
Yeah.
and I like to be able to follow along, so I watch the movie. But I watch it like it's called Best Christmas Ever, and truly, like I think the New York Times reviewed it as Best Christmas Ever, Worst Movie Ever.
Oh.
It was like honestly like laughable how bad it is, but those make for better conversations about the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I even cried during this movie. Like I'm such a sap. Like it doesn't
'cause
take
you know what?
much from
Listen,
me.
Something gets you, it gets you. But
Yeah, but I'm like this movie is off. Like I'm like this acting's terrible. But at one point I was like, okay, yeah.
you guys want to cry for an hour? Watch the speech, the ESPN Plus thing about Jim Valvano's ESPY Award speech.
Yeah.
Do you remember that at all?
That always gets me. The Jim Valvano speech always
Jim
gets me.
Valvano was a coach for NC State, and they won like a miraculous national championship one year, and he was running all over the court. It was like an iconic image of
Yeah.
him. And he was a good coach, great career. He was like very popular, and then he got diagnosed with cancer. It was like terminal. And they had the ESPY Awards. It was the first year they ever did it, and they invited him to get the Arthur Ashe Award. And Arthur Ashe just passed away, too. He was actually supposed to be...
Jeez.
Yeah. So he gave the speech like weeks before he passed away. He was basically couldn't even really physically get up there and do it. He had to get help. And then like while he was up there, delivered like one of the best speeches of. It was literally. I remember watching it when it came out and being like
Yes.
whatever. And like I was like in tears the whole episode watching it.
Yeah.
But it was so good.
That always gets me. And you want to
It's
hear
just such a great positive story, even though he died. But like
It is great.
they helped so many people. He did
The
down
Jimmy
line.
V Fund.
Oh, that sounds good.
Extremely good to watch. I mean, I could add that as another pick. I mean,
It's yeah. I've
it's called
seen
The
that
Speech.
before.
It's on ESPN Plus. It was so good. But that's a tearjerker. Like, you're not going to watch that. I don't care who you are. There's no way you could watch that and not at least be choked up fucking for the whole thing.
There's a chance I was at that speech live
What do you mean a chance?
because I don't remember it. We might have left early. I was at either the first or the second, and I don't remember. Me and my cousin.
I can't see you not remembering that.
I was a little kid. And,
That's also true.
and that's what it is. So I got to talk to my cousin because it might have been.
If you guys left before that, that's crazy.
That was
I know,
hilarious.
but yeah, back then you didn't know.
Because that's like, I know, I totally get it.
Also-
but I'm just saying, like,
Chick,
it
I've-
went down as one of like the most iconic.
I very well could have been there and not even.
you probably wouldn't have
Didn't
appreciated
register
it
if you
anyway.
were so young.
I was so young, and I remember, but I remember seeing like the Dallas Cowboys of the '90s down there. It was very cool. But when I see my cousin for Christmas, I'll ask him which
But
one.
it's
we
How'd you
were.
get
funny.
in? Yeah, how'd you get into that? Like, was that?
Because it was the first or second.
at
it was-
MSG.
It
It
was,
was at,
yeah.
like,
it,
the
it was
theater-
at the Paramount, Theater, at
at
MSG.
MSG.
And it was one of the first two, so we were able to go there. But I remember I had to wear a tuxedo.
You say it was the first two, so you were able to go there. Like,
That's
I'm
not
sure,
an easy ticket.
I'm sure it was
to
a
get.
hot ticket. You're like, oh yeah, we were able
It's
to go.
a tuxedo
It
event.
wasn't
Did you
as
buy
big.
tickets, or-
My cousin got tickets, and it wasn't like today.
It
like,
was the first one, and they didn't really know. It was like
Okay.
they explained that they made it because of the MTV. It was like their version of the MTV
Oh,
Awards.
that's fun.
I remember being very lucky to go, and we were, but like my cousin did. It wasn't like
old's
crazy.
your
It couldn't have been. He's maybe 15 years old, 10, 15 years older than
okay.
me. So yeah, he got him, and he took me, and it was. I remember being awesome because I saw all these athletes that were huge at the time, but yeah, I don't remember. It was early enough in those awards that it could have been the first or second. That it was like not crazy to get to.
That was the Jimmy V. That was the first year, and it was not funny, but so the person who came on and presented right after him, it was one of the other analysts who wound up getting cancer, and she beat it. It was like a bunch of people. So there was no funding going into research when he had the cancer, and that was his whole thing. Is that a lot of these doctors are close to cures or treatments, and then the money washes up, and they can't continue the research. So the whole Jimmy V Foundation was to fund research. And then, like, at the end of it, it was all these people who were at the event or who knew him who wound up getting cancer. And because they had money, like, they were able to treat theirs, and a lot of them survived. So, like, I don't know. It was a very, it was a touchy fucking doc to watch. But
that
it was
speech
so
right
good.
there will get me every time.
I was
Every
pissed.
time.
So I was pissed
check
that
it
they
out.
didn't show. I thought they were going to show this because it was only like a 10 or 15-minute speech. So I thought they were going to do at least show you the whole speech again. But it was everybody just didn't. It was show clips. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to find where I could like see the whole thing again. It was
It's probably
so
on
good.
YouTube.
Yeah,
but the clips alone, where when you know the story and you know what happened right after,
it was sufficient.
It's great.
You didn't need to hear it.
It's a good first year. I mean, really probably set up the ESPYs to be like, okay, we should do this
the
every year.
ESPYs
'cause
now are
it's like-
huge.
yeah.
They're huge. That's what I'm saying. Now it's probably like you couldn't get in. But
And then
back
they even came out, I think a few years ago. It hasn't been that long. So now they have the Arthur Ashe Award, and then they do the Jimmy V Perseverance Award.
Yeah.
So they each have an award dedicated to them. But Arthur Ashe died right before it, even like so. That award, I think he was going to give the first one, but then he died and he had AIDS or whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of real quick, I brought up Paddleton before. What's the
Yes.
movie Paddleton? Did you end up watching that? It was Ray Romano.
I
and
haven't seen that.
Mark
I
Duplass.
saw it, but it was when it first. I haven't seen it
In that
years.
movie. One of the characters talks about how he has the perfect halftime speech to his team to like motivate his speech. And I won't do it now. Like I don't know that I couldn't do it now if I want to, but it's a really cool speech.
Is
Like,
it?
Yeah, like he's writing it like throughout the movie, and at the end he gives the
Does he?
speech. Yeah, like how to like hype up your team, like to come from behind in a halftime.
Was it actually
Yeah.
like good? You
Yeah,
think?
it was good. It's clever.
I
Yeah,
gotta watch that. I like those Duplass brothers.
Duplass. Yeah.
Wait, the Duplass brothers did Paddleton?
Mark
Paddington?
Duplass acted in it. I'm not sure.
I remember him
was
being
one
no.
of
I
the-
remember him being in it. I didn't know they directed it.
I
I
thought
thought
they
Duplass type of
directed
feel to it, so it's it's. but then
Duplass
it's Ray
also
Romano
does
and-
like I don't want to say horror movies, but he does some
he
like
did that
dark
one horror.
stuff.
He did that one horror movie.
What
yeah.
was it called?
Yeah, Creep?
Creep.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good. All right, whatever.
They wrote it.
They wrote it. Okay.
They didn't direct it.
Mark Duplass and Alex Lehman, who also directed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Are you guys fans of theirs, generally speaking?
yes,
though?
Yeah, I like
so.
them.
No, so am I.
I like what they did.
He was the
yeah,
guy
so you
from.
like the holdovers is very like
As soon as I saw it, I saw it before you even sent it to watch. Like I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then when you sent it, it was like a reaffirmed. Like, okay, I'm doing it.
American Fiction's my next movie that I'm gonna.
I heard about that. I haven't seen it.
What's that about?
I don't really know, but it's getting great reviews and
A
it's
lot
got
of that's what you got to realize. A lot of these
Jeffrey
things just
Wright.
get. Yeah, they get.
I
love
can
Jeffrey
go into a
Wright.
movie with not knowing it.
Yeah.
Like
I almost prefer going into a
That'd be
movie not knowing anything because then I don't have any predispositions about it. Like Oppenheimer, I knew I was going to like it. I almost felt like if the movie wasn't good, I probably still would have liked it. Like that's how biased I was going into it. So,
All right.
All right, we're at that point.
We are definitely was deep into that point.
Yeah.
but if you
always
made it
do.
this far, guys,
we thank you. And
Appreciate
Chick, thank you again.
no problem. Glad you're okay.
All right.
Ryan, I'll see you on Saturday.
Saturday.
Excellent. Can't wait for it.
I'm
I can't wait
excited.
to.